All right, so Adam Mason, Casey Cunningham, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Casey?
I'm outstanding, thank you. I'm
Good.
looking
Thanks for
forward to
having me.
getting to know you. Absolutely, absolutely. So I see pictures of children. So you're a father of either two or three. I think it's three, right?
Father of three. My youngest might be a little upset I ever cut off.
Oh yeah, right. Have to slide the pictures over. I'm
Right.
a mother. I'm a mother of two girls. We're both running businesses right now, so we have something in common there, and trying to balance it all. I see you're in the office though, not at home. Is that where you've been the entire time?
No, the last probably 6 months I split time between home and office. Some things I just can't do at home.
Sure.
But I for starting this time last year, really mid to late March, went home, worked from home consistently every day until the later part of last year.
So
But
what?
to be quite honest, I came in today just for this interview because
Awesome.
I like the background.
But hey, I appreciate that. So if you have, what's the future look like for you? Will you be in the office split time? Are you going to require your employees to come in? How's
Really, the
shifting?
really the key word for us is flexibility. We're going to work with all of our employees to determine what's best for their individual circumstance. For the near future, we are going to continue the program we're on. Most of our employees are at home, uh, and they're allowed to come in. We've been following CDC guidelines and have strict in-office precautions. But for the foreseeable future, we're going to continue down the path we're on of allowing employees to basically determine their own situation.
Outstanding. So in 2020, we all made some really tough decisions and decisions on behalf of the health and safety of our families and children, et cetera. Uh, are there any decisions beyond the flexibility of working where they want that you made that you believe you're going to retain long term?
Beyond the flexibility of working from home,
Mm-hmm.
that's really the biggest change as far as over the last year with flexibility. We had a pretty flexible environment to begin with,
Sure.
but the working from home really opened our eyes over the last year. Really after about 6 weeks, we converted from 85% of our employees working in an office or working in our corporate office or a branch. Overnight, 100% of our employees working from home. So tremendous achievement by our IT department and really our corporate culture as a whole to transition.
Sure.
But we have proven to be successful working from home. We went through a historic volume over the course of the last year, and starting last April, and we were successful working from home. So it really opened my eyes into what being in an office or working from home can do. It's so personal to the employee and what they feel comfortable with as we get out of no, there was no option last spring. We had to be home. But
Sure.
as the vaccine starts to take more and more effect, and hopefully the light is at the end of the tunnel of COVID, the option to come back will be more prevalent. So I think dress code is really another thing. Dress code is such an outdated term. We don't really have a dress code, but I've really seen a relaxation of across the board what people wear, and I think there's been a little more flexibility with the work-life balance type things. You're at home, you're juggling multiple responsibilities, your job, and for quite some time, most of our parents had kids at home learning virtually.
Right.
We expected distractions, we expected interruptions, and family comes first. So it has always come first, but certainly a different element when you have kids in the background or kids at home and you're trying
Dogs
to
running by the screen.
yeah, exactly.
Cats walking on the keyboard.
Right. Yeah,
I
I think it's just really kind of relaxing a little bit and lightening up.
Sure. What do you, how have you been able to preserve your culture? Because when you shift literally overnight, Are there any things that you've done intentionally to help in preserving it?
Yes, absolutely. Our culture and atmosphere is key to our success. A healthy, in my view, a healthy corporate culture has to have buy-in from across the organization. It has to be built in amongst the employees, managers, executive team, and really it starts from the top. It starts with me, but it's not something I can force. There has to be buy-in throughout the organization. And so I like to be present. Prior to COVID, it was very easy to be physically present. And that was the biggest change for me when nobody's in our corporate office, nobody's in the branch. How do I maintain an out front leadership style and really maintaining our strong corporate culture, our strong company culture? And that was really just doubling down on communication, doubling down on praise and kudos and good jobs, sending out videos, making phone calls, sending those personalized emails. Branch visits weren't possible. So really getting my face and voice out there in other ways. Just really getting creative in what we were doing. Not just myself, but my executive team and all leadership had to switch a little bit in how we were instilling our corporate culture.
Do you have a standard set communication for company-wide? Like, do you meet once a month, once every 2 weeks, once a quarter at all?
No, it's purely based on gut, what I have going, and kind of like I said, with a company culture there has to be buy-in across the entire organization.
Sure.
And what comes with that is knowing our employees, knowing our company, knowing what's going on in their professional lives, and having a pulse on our workforce. And through that, we'll have various communications, what I think is right, and what input I get from employees and management and executives. And those communications range from emails, videos, conference calls, a random text message to all employees,
Right.
ranging from substantive matters to have a great weekend, everybody. Great job.
I love that. So, Adam, as an executive today, you got there for a reason. And if someone's listening in and they're looking at how to be a great leader, what would be your advice to them? Like the top 3 attributes that you really focus on as a great leader that you'd recommend someone else if they're considering that role in the future that they need to embrace?
First is listening to who you're leading. You need to understand what the objective, what the goals are of your employees. What are the goals of our loan officers? They range in production, their experience ranges. What are the goals of our non-loan officer employees? How do I, as a leader, help them achieve their goals? The only way I can do that is through listening to them, seeking feedback, and then listening to the feedback, and which leads to number 2, a leader takes action. You can't be afraid to make a mistake. We all make mistakes, going to continue to make mistakes, but the good leader minimizes mistakes and takes action. We can all sit here and talk about theory and best practices and have the greatest ideas in the world, but the best leaders put them into place, they execute. And third, I'm sorry, is just hard work. You've got to set the tone as a leader for you have to set the pace. And if you want an organization that is humming along, you've got to work hard and you've got to be out front. So, and then the 4th, a bonus one.
Yeah, give me a bonus.
A bonus is be yourself. You've got to be yourself. You don't want to try and emulate someone else. Certainly myself, I'll take pieces from various people that I respect, historically, what have you. But at the end of the day, I have to be myself. I'm genuine, and that's how our people will buy in, and that's how, as a leader, you'll be effective.
Well, I'm going to guess in your career, you've had good leaders and bad leaders around you. And we learned.
No question about it.
So when you think about the worst leaders, what's the most common mistake you think is happening among leaders that are not as effective?
That is probably the easiest question I'll get all day. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's they seek all the praise and divert all the blame. They don't take the bad leaders don't take any of the blame, and really good leaders do the exact opposite. The praise is for all diverted to everyone else, and the blame is on the leader.
Well, you would absolutely love and appreciate a keynote that I do often, which is called the 3 most powerful words for success. And because when I say that, like, what are the 3 most powerful words? Because when you own them and you adopt them, you'll achieve greatness. It's I am responsible. And so I'm responsible for my health, my wealth, my attitude, my performance, my success. And so I'm also responsible for the friends I choose, the places I go, the things I eat, etc. And so when something happens in my company that someone else did, I own it. Because I either didn't communicate well, or I didn't empower them, or I have them in the wrong role, because I know I measure the intention of their hearts, right? They didn't intentionally do anything wrong, but I am responsible. And so when you stop pointing out and you point in, it changes the game. So we are so much in alignment there that bad leaders do. They blame others and they don't own it. And so it gives safety in the ability for your employees to be able to perform, to know they're not going to get in trouble, if you will, right?
Right. Yeah, and it really develops a culture of generating ideas. When kind of to your point, when employees are afraid of getting in trouble or doing something wrong, or in this instance, having a bad idea,
right?
That's just really an unhealthy environment. We're the best inventors ever, the best idea people ever probably have the most bad ideas too. You have to have a mindset of ideas. And our company culture is that of generating ideas. There might be 9 bad ones, but if it takes us 9 to get to that one good one, it's worth it.
It's worth it. All right. So I'm curious. I believe recruiting is an art. Hiring is an art for your culture. What are the top attributes you look for someone to come and join your team?
That they will protect our reputation that we have built over the last 66 years. Do business right. Put the customer first. Treat the customer and their colleagues well. That's volume is not a factor. Prior experience is not a factor, but character, integrity is at the top of the list.
Top. All right. So could you describe, because I don't know your company as well as I know quite often when I'm interviewing, can you describe your corporate culture? If I was an outsider and you're like, Casey, let me tell you about how great we are.
Sure. Our company culture, our culture is customer centric. So by customer, obviously our external customers we service, and our number one priority are borrowers. Excuse me. But all employees are viewed as customers in the sense that we're a team. We're all part of the process of delivering a loan to our borrowers. So our culture is inclusive. Everybody has a voice. Everybody's challenged to perform at a high level.
Sure.
But at the heart of what Gershman Mortgage is doing is really supporting our employees to perform their responsibilities. We really take ownership and we really put a lot of effort into supporting our employees, giving them the resources they need to succeed.
I love it. Love it. I can there's a certain warmth I feel from you, Adam, as I can imagine working there, that is this genuineness that, hey, the executive in charge really cares about us, and he truly wants to make our lives better.
What I say in recruiting is really, I can't guarantee that you're going to like me. I can't guarantee that you're going to like our company even. But I can guarantee one thing, is that we will support you. I can control that. And that is something that that I firmly believe in, that we can only improve what we can control, and supporting our employees, supporting our loan officers is number one.
I love that. So I want to end with this one question, because I want to pretend I'm in your boardroom and you don't know it. And you're with all the executive team, your executive team, and you are discussing the future, and you're having to make some hard decisions or big decisions. What's the biggest priority you're working on right now, if you're willing to share?
Sure. Well, we've had two priorities since the beginning of COVID. And the first priority is the health and safety of our employees, communities, borrowers, and our decisions are driven by that. So by maintaining health and safety. So that's our number one priority. And then our number two priority is and going forward, has been and will be our customer-centric mission. And we're obviously entering into what will be a more prevalent purchase market. Our company is positioned for, has always been, and will continue to be positioned for a purchase market with our retail loan officers. Our prioritization of purchase transactions, we close on time every time. One of the things our employees are probably sick of me saying, but I say it all the time. So it's really developing, continuing to improve and develop our platform through technology, and sharpening our edge on positioning ourselves, further positioning ourselves for a purchase market.
Excellent, excellent. Well, what a privilege it's been to have a few minutes with you, and it's great to meet you. And
Stacey, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. It was really nice to meet you.
Absolutely, my pleasure, my pleasure. We'll talk soon and hopefully get to know one another even more in the future.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.